Myself, it's essentially kind of the whole I guess what's the word I'm looking for? Reason we've been kind of doing this podcast or whatever, or the underlying theme of this podcast is the transfer portal. There are a lot of players in the transfer portal, a total of 908, and just going through the top five currently in the transfer portal, you have Hunter Dickinson, who we've talked about multiple times in this podcast. He's done Michigan. He'll be going somewhere else. Max Abmas out of ORU, one of the most feared scorers in all of basketball. He'll be gone from Oral Roberts. He's going to go somewhere else. A big program's going to want to get him in and see what he can do. You also have the big 7-footer, one of the most highly rated prospects as a high schooler, Kal-El Ware. I apologize if I mispronounced that. He's out of Oregon. LJ Cryer, the guard out of Baylor. Treyvon Mark, who we got to know with Houston this year. So there's a lot of players in the transfer portal that are ready to roll. As I said, 908 total at the moment. Only 77 of them are committed. So a lot of crazy stuff is going to happen in the next essentially 3 to 4 months, but I'm here for it. I can't wait to see how it all kind of shapes out. And then next year, also what I'm looking forward to is mid-majors. Now, Florida Atlantic is bringing almost everyone back. They are like number 8 or number 10 on the odds board to win a national championship. That's incredible. A lot of talk about Yale as well. There's a lot of talk about them coming out and possibly being a team that could be this year's San Diego State or this year's FAU or this year's Furman, however you want to look at it. And then obviously for the Aztecs, just on the local side of things, how does next year or this year build going forward? I can't wait for that banner to go up because look, they do deserve a banner. I don't care what anybody says, whether it says Final Four, whether it says national runner up, they deserve a banner because this was by far their best season ever. Hopefully up until the next 2 or 3 years where they are the ones that are victorious on that Monday night in April. But Raider Jim, what are you looking forward to next year as we hope we kind of look off into the distance of the 2023-24 season?
Well, you hit it. The two things on mine for what to look out for next season are the transfer portal, which you just covered very, very well. And the other one I have on there is the NBA draft declarations, another big one. Now, with regard to the transfer portal, the one that I saw come across after I got home today was Creighton guard Ryan Nembhard has put his name into the transfer portal. So he will be stepping away from Creighton. Kind of a surprise because he's been there for 2 years. He still has 2 strong years left. Of course, he has the ties to Spokane. His brother was very, very good player for Spokane up until last year. He graduated. So is he going to end up on Spokane's campus, or is he going to go to Tommy Lloyd and go play for the Arizona Wildcats? Regardless, you're going to see him moving west of the Mississippi as far as I can see. Just going to be good to watch. On the NBA declarations, who's already out there? Some, obvious ones. The seniors, of course, they're not really a concern when we talk about our game. But Jalen Clark from UCLA is going to put his name in there. Noah Clowney from Alabama has already put his name in there. Joseph Girard from Syracuse, although he's a senior. Wendell Green out of Auburn, also a great player. Jett Howard from Michigan. Kid had a good freshman year, and he's thinking good enough that he might as well go see if he can make some money. I'm telling you, it's just going to be interesting to see what happens. This is different, of course, than the transfer portal. These kids may or may not get a look. The scouts may just tell them, pat them on the head and say, go back to campus and put some weight on, eat some more burgers. But Kansas has a couple players in there. Duke has a couple players that have declared. So it's going to be interesting to see. All this, all the outside things that happen now are really impacting the game. We've already hit on it. All 3 of us have agreed. Boy, the parity around here now is just, it's all brought on by NIL, transfer portal, NBA declarations. Going to be curious to see what happens.
Yeah, it's going to be a very, very interesting off season. Hopefully it goes quick for all of our sakes. And we're sitting down here getting ready in November to hit record again on another season of In the Paint. But Coach, what are your thoughts, or what are you looking forward to next season, the 2023-24 college basketball?
I'm always, especially in the off season, I always like to see who's who's going whether it's the highly recruited freshman and now it's the much anticipated transfer. So I always look forward to that as far as my off season goes. You know, I hear a lot about San Diego State, you know, staying here where they're at. You know, these guys have been there for a number of years. Just getting out of first round has been troublesome or whatnot. But you know, they own the Mountain West. There are rumors that they could possibly be leaving to a bigger conference, and this is my hot stove season. So I look forward to the recruits, regardless if it's the Blue Bloods or if it's San Diego State, or I look forward to the transfers, whether it's the Blue Bloods or San Diego State. I get a big kick out of that, those transactions or transfers and signings, and reading up what all the experts have to say on it. You know, I'm looking forward to the progression of this show. I mean, you guys got your transfer in. Now let's work on that NIL.
Oh, wow. There we go.
There it is. I'll work on that NIL for each other for the show. So that's what I'm looking forward to.
I love it. I would be too. NIL. Wow.
Yeah, right?
I like that. Yeah.
NIL
Name, image, and likeness rights. I love it. That's hilarious.
But
yeah, it's going to be a very interesting offseason, obviously. And I've always been a big proponent of the new way of the NBA draft, where you don't have to make a 100% choice until you really do go to the combine and you talk to multiple scouts. It used to be, you know, you put your name in, okay, you're done. And then if you don't get drafted, well, have fun in Europe.